Hello and welcome to the podcast Listen the Voice of Truth. In this, I will tell you the experiences of my life with God and the things that I live by every day. Enjoy the session.
I'm going to start with a love story today. Once there was a boy like me. I feel many ears just listen what I have to say. Once there was a boy just like me, who once fell in love. And this is the testimony of his friends, that once what I did not see him do, I now see him do it. He's taking a bath every day. He's eating in right times. He's eating healthy. He even started his skin routine. Yes, he's on a phone a bit longer, I notice. And he's happier. And he's talking good to us these days. I don't know what's up with him. I think he found somebody. Somebody we have not met yet, somebody he has not told us about. But I think there's a soft corner in his heart for somebody. I think my boy just fell in love. That's what happens when you fall in love. That's what happens when somebody falls in love. The thing somebody doesn't do now for a magical reason starts to do it. He started his skin routine. He started to eat well. What's up with that? The way he acts changed. He's not hanging out with us anymore. Not to that level. He's always distracted or there's something else in his mind. A little giggly all the time. He has started taking extra efforts, going more and beyond. When we as humans can go over and beyond when we fall in love. Imagine how much more can you do things when you fall in love with Jesus. I just want to share this passion that I once had for Jesus. I still do, but I want to share about those initial days when I just burned and tired and did senseless things. Senseless in the sight of my family, but I did senseless things just because I wanted to serve Jesus. Just because I wanted to be in His presence. Just because I wanted to be something that adds up to the church of God. You know, there's a particular level when somebody starts working for the Lord. And when he starts to work, he says, I'll take up the cross. I'll work for you. Lord, you want me to do something? I'll be there. The church needs my help? I'll be there. The church needs a service? I'll be there. Whatever it is, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll be there. I'll be available. But that's what the Lord wants. A heart that is surrendered in love, ready to serve Him. Because the Lord isn't looking for people who just do stuff for Him. But the Lord is looking for people who do it in love. Because He has surely given you a commandment, go and do a certain service. But He also says, if you love me, do what I command. Do what I say. Fulfill my will as I fulfill the will of my Father who sent me. I send you now. You know, it's so beautiful that you can do things. The word of the Lord tells you, I can do all things through Christ because He is my strength. Because He is the source of my strength. He is the one who strengthens me. I always wondered, how does the Lord becomes my strength? It's just easy to say and understand, oh, the Lord is my strength. But I want to know, how does the Lord becomes my strength? The word of the Lord tells you, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. That means anyone who believes, everything is possible for them. Not because of their capabilities, not because of the things they are able for, but because of their faith. That woman with the issue of blood received her healing because she had faith. It's not what you do changes a thing, but the thing that flips the script is what heart you do it with. The word of the Lord tells you, the labor of a builder is waste if the Lord isn't building the house. The waking up at night of the watchman is a waste if the Lord is not keeping the town. You doing something for the Lord is a total vain, a total waste if the Lord isn't giving you grace or if the Lord is not doing it for you. And I'm by no means saying that you don't need to work. Of course you need to work. Don't be lazy. But when it's the Lord empowering you to work, then only will you see the blessing and the grace of God flow in your life, that you may do things with success as a certainty. You don't just find it by luck. You receive it by the favor of God that is over your life, just because you have made God your strength. But we come back on the same thing again. How can I have God as my strength? I'll take you back to the first thing that I started to share. A boy in love. When you start to love the Lord, He becomes your strength. If you're listening and if you're a boy, you know that skincare routines are not your thing. And know this, that if you're doing it, it's because of a certain influence. Because most boys don't know how to be clean. And I've been a part of it most of my life. But when you start to do things somewhere in a different fashion, apart from what you did all these years, it has to be an external influence. Now tell me, first of all, I do not believe in love at first sight. It could be infatuation. it could be lust, because love is something very deep and powerful, and it is for sure 100% intentional when you do it. Because the word of the Lord says, God so loved the world that He gave His only Son. He was intentional when He gave His Son for our redemption. He was intentional when He gave His only begotten Son that He could have us. God giving His own Son was not just a happening. It was very intentionally done. Jesus dying on the cross was not something that just happened. It was very intentionally done. And it was not because He just wanted to save you. More than that, because He loved you. You know how hard it is to be in a one-sided relationship? Jesus was in a one-sided relationship. That Christ died for us even when we were sinners. Christ died for me when I did not know Him. Christ died for me when I was still away from Him. Christ died for me even when I did not look at Him, even when I did not talk to Him, even when I still hurt Him. Christ still died for me just because He loved me. It was not something that just happened overnight. It was not something that just happened in first sight. It was very intentionally done. So when I say this, that your love makes Christ your strength, I mean you being intentional for who He is. I'm saying you doing things intentionally. When you wait upon the Lord, you gain strength. How does somebody wait upon the Lord? I'm telling you, if you just look at the watch and for 15 minutes you just go and sit and say, the Lord, I just want to pray for 15 minutes. Just keep looking at the time. Those 15 minutes will be like 15 years for you. And you will have your eyes constantly on the watch because you are focused on the time you're spending with Him. But when you go with a different intention, when you go with an intention to spend time with God, your focus is not the time that you spend with Him. Your focus is that you are spending that time with God. The time is not the focus. The prayer is not the focus. The conversations are not the focus. Your prayer requests are not the focus. God is the focus. God is the center one. And tell me, when was the last time you went in that prayer room with an intention to spend that time with God and not did an overtime? I tell you, with my personal life, there were days when I saw the sun come up from the window of my room and I'm just sitting at the presence of God, and I saw the same day the sun going down. It was not me looking at the time. It was not just me making hours. It was me in love with God. It was me just lost in His presence, just too much focused on Him that I don't even care anymore what time it is. I don't even care anymore how much time did I spend here. When I wait upon the Lord, He becomes my strength. The word of the Lord tells us, the joy of the Lord is my strength. How can the joy of the Lord be my strength? He is being happy there, but how is that thing being my strength? You know, that same boy who loved the girl and changed his lifestyle, even started to work, even started to do overtime. You know why? He did not like the job, just so you know. He did not like the job. He did not like the work he did there. He cursed, in fact, his employers, but he still did an overtime. You know why? Because he wanted to buy a little sweet gift for his girlfriend. He wanted to buy something that will bring pleasure to her girlfriend, that will make her go, "Aw, don't mind me." But yes, that's what you do. And you're not focused on the work that you're spending just to buy that little thing. You're focused on your little effort. Even though it's unseen, it will bring pleasure to her heart. Even when you went through pain, but you will not be focused on your pain. You will not be focused on the time you spent behind that pain. You'll not be focused on the time you did. You'll not be focused on the misery you went through just to buy that little thing that will bring her joy. That is love. And when you are in love, everything is just about the other one. When you are in love with God, when you are in love with Jesus, His joy becomes your strength. Because whatever you work in, you want to serve, you will overlook the pain of service. You will overlook the inputs you are giving into the service, just because you want to please His heart, just because you want to feel that the Lord is pleased by you, that you are the one that touches the heart of God. That's how you make the joy of the Lord your strength. That you'll go through all the pain, you'll go through all the trouble, you'll go through all the extra steps, just because the result of that will bring pleasure, will bring joy to the heart of God. And just for that smile on His face, you'll overlook everything that you went through. You'll not count it at all. You'll be completely focused in His joy. And that's how a man can make the joy of the Lord his strength. Yes, the joy of the Lord can be your strength. Yes, the joy of the Lord can make you go over and beyond in a way that will bless your heart, in a way that is powerful and pure, in a way that will touch the heart of God. You can wait on the Lord for days. You can just seek His face for days and hours and months. You'll do the same thing over again, but you'll feel renewed every time. Yes, it may be senseless when you bring in logic, but in a relationship, logic makes no sense. Even the most senseless things can bring immense joy to the one. The little things also counts. Even the little things matter. You secretly steal your time from the world just so you can spend another minute with the Lord. He sees that. You secretly withdrawing yourself with the fellowship you are into the world just so you can spend more time with God. He sees that. You're waking overnight and overnight just so you can finish a project that the Lord has burdened you with. He sees that. People may not see it and they are not supposed to see it. I don't care if they see it. The Lord sees me. My Baba sees me. I'm satisfied. I just know this, that it will bring pleasure to Him. It will bring joy to Him. It will bless His heart. And that's all that matters. And just so that this thing can bless His heart, I will endure it. I will do it. No matter the cost. I want to see Him joyful. I want to see Him rejoicing. I want to see Him pleased. It doesn't matter if the world doesn't notice me, but I know the things that I do, their result will bring pleasure to His heart. Let the joy of the Lord be your strength, and let His joy be your strength by you loving Him. Be one with Him, because that's what He wants you to do. He is not here for anything else than to just love you, than to just be one with you, than to have a fellowship with you. He literally gave His Son for you. You love Him because He first loved you. He loved you by His actions, not just with words, but with actions. He gave His Son. If you read it in Hindi, many people overlook that little detail. Bible कहती है, परमेश्वर ने जगत से ऐसा प्रेम रखा. वहाँ लिखा है रखा. He kept that love. He loved the world. Let the joy of the Lord become your strength, that you be able to do all things through Christ, because He is your strength. Because His joy now became your fuel in your love, in the relationship that you share with Him. His joy is now the fuel by which you work. Work not for the world, but do things for Him. And that's what pleases Him. And that's how His joy keeps you going on. So make the joy of the Lord your strength.